What's good, guys? This is Dave from DW Fitness. I hope you guys are all having a great week. And in this video today, I'm going to be talking about the concept of utilizing a weight belt. So in my own training, you may have seen in my past videos that on heavy deadlifts and heavy squats or compound movements, I sometimes utilize a belt, especially on my work sets. And for me, a belt has been extremely useful to help protect my back. I found it to actually help a lot in that sense because when lifting heavy weights, having a belt can be a useful tool. And that's what I want to talk about today, how it can be a tool for you guys and not utilizing it as a crutch. So first off, I want to talk about how utilizing a belt for powerlifting and bodybuilding is something that I would recommend for most people, especially if you've had any back injuries in the past. Belts can be beneficial to help increase your intra-abdominal pressure, which is just going to help stabilize the spine to a greater extent. So weight belts have actually been shown in various studies to help increase the speed of your lifts. Specifically, when you're looking at the squat and the deadlift, there have been studies that show that athletes can complete these lifts slightly faster when performing these certain movements. And the reason that this is applicable to training is because when you're trying to get stronger, oftentimes the speed that you move your submaximal training weight is actually a good idea of how much weight you can lift as a max load. And so if you guys want to read more about this, there's a great article that actually covers very similar concepts that I'm going to cover in this video that I'm basically summarizing and talking you guys through. But there's a ton of studies that have been compiled into this, and it's a good resource. It's called strengththeory.com, and it's a great learning resource. So the other concept that belts can be great for is that they can actually help you increase the number of repetitions that you perform per set. So generally, it's been suggested that you can lift a few reps more than the work weight that you utilize without a belt than when you have one, compared to when you have one. So if you have a belt, you can generally lift a couple reps more than if you didn't. And the reason this is useful to realize is because if you have a belt, over time, this can allow you to progressively overload more and lift more and get stronger and build more size over time. And this is just something that's been studied and observed in multiple studies, and I'm going to just share these below as well. So finally, I wanted to talk about how the belt can actually help you when you're trying to improve the amount of weight you want to lift. Because in relation to the reps and the speed, when you have a belt, generally it's been shown that you can lift a little bit more weight as well. And again, whenever you're trying to get stronger or trying to build muscle, little increases and incremental increases in overload can be really beneficial. So as far as how the belt affects activation of certain muscles, there haven't been any super conclusive studies that show it's super great. It's going to greatly activate the muscles to a much greater extent. The primary reason behind the belt itself is because it helps to increase intra-abdominal pressure, and that there have been studies that show that it can help increase speed and reps and the weight you use. And from my personal experience as well, it's definitely been something that helps to protect the back and help keep your core more braced, and it's a great tool if you're utilizing it for powerlifting and bodybuilding. So I wanted to end this section with why you may not want to utilize a belt, and there are certain reasons. The first and foremost reason is basically lack of specificity towards certain sports. So let's say you're playing baseball or basketball, or you're in a really athletic sport. Training with a belt may not be the best interest for you, just because you're not going to be utilizing a weight belt when you're in your sport. But again, a belt may be useful if you're combining that with powerlifting and bodybuilding, and those are sports that I would recommend utilizing a belt for. So you can utilize it, and you can utilize the belt by putting it into some workouts and going beltless for a while, so you just get used to bracing your core without one. Or you can utilize it in a way where you're doing your warm-up sets without a belt, and then on your work sets, your heavy work sets, you can utilize a belt to basically help you brace and create greater stability and pressure. So that basically the risk groups that I wouldn't recommend a belt are hypertension, or hernia, or if you have an organ protruding, you should probably go see a doctor first. For a belt, basically I would recommend that you guys just use it, and use it if you're trying to work towards powerlifting and bodybuilding goals, and it can help you to lift more weight and get more progressive overload in your training to help you build more muscle and gain strength, and just utilize them as a tool and not as a complete crutch. So I hope this helps to clarify some things regarding weight belts. I know that they are a very confusing issue. There are people that say it weakens the core and it's not as good for you, but in my personal experience and from studies, research as well, there really is no conclusive evidence that it actually weakens the core in any way. In fact, it can help to protect your back and spine as you get stronger and improve. So thank you so much, guys, and I'll see you guys all next week. Peace.